Welcome everybody to the BNN podcast or the DJNN podcast with your host DJ BJ and the Anime Prophet. Today we're going to be talking about a bit of anime and manga news from Japan. But before we do that, how are you, John? Or DJ
Well,
BJ? That's your name now.
I don't know why you call me the blowjob guy, but you know, I guess I've sucked
It's John. It's
a
Banda
lifetime.
John. Banda John. Okay.
Oh, I guess. Anyways, I'm good. I've been mostly dealing with work, dealing with you know the cold weather. I got a bit of flu. It's not the coronavirus. It's just flu. So
Coronavirus. Are you
yeah,
sure?
yeah. So but I'm alright.
Don't worry. Don't worry. For your dinner, we'll bring those Ghanaian puffin dancers for you, man. Just how much love we have for you. We'll make sure that
uh,
they dance at your funeral.
Nah, that wouldn't happen. You probably make people at the funeral get distracted. They'll forget about me. They'll probably smash.
True that.
Yeah,
Okay.
but otherwise, I'm good. Just yeah, it's just been working on side projects, a bit of screenwriting, and yeah, and also some personal life missions like getting a girl during this entire chaotic pandemic.
Woohoo! You got a girlfriend. Good for you, man. DJ BJ now has a Mrs. DJ BJ in the house. You should invite her to the podcast.
I don't know, maybe later, but I think we're too degenerate for it.
Okay, true.
and,
So
and
I
and
wanted to
what?
do something a bit this.
Okay.
What? Well, for starters, I wanted to make this more of always talking about the latest anime, the trends, and all that stuff. So I wanted to dive deeper into the rabbit hole, as they call it, and talk about the industry as a whole, like the particularly the manga industry. We
Oh,
might
oh,
even
but
touch on the animation industry, but what were you about to say?
no. I was like, oh, cool. We can talk about how the sausage is made. I mean, although we're not really professional animators, we have like I guess you have done a bit of your research and I have done mine. All I know is that, as far as I'm concerned, I guess the Doga or the most of the junior animators, or I don't know which tier, but most of them don't really get paid that much, and they live with their parents, and it's kind of demoralizing because some of them are actually really good, or better than me because I can't animate for shit. I'm good at other things, but no. Maybe motion graphics, I can pull that off, but actual 2D animation, drawing characters frame by frame, yeah, but it's just sad that people who are at that skill level are actually not being paid well. And it's yeah, it's Japan for you. How
That's
sausage is made.
uh,
Mm.
so. Since you were talking about the animation industry, let me just give you a few updates about the anime industry as in general. Uh, I'm not so sure what what was happening then. I read an article like a few days ago about the anime. People think that it's doing well and stuff like that, but then in actual fact that most of the animation companies is actually in the red, and that things haven't actually changed, even though there's been much more international, Western influence, like with the rise of Netflix and Amazon and stuff like that. The money is not actually trickling down to the local animators. It's still being handled by production houses and those committees. And it's not
Isn't
like
isn't
the
that
production,
because
it's not like
of
they're doing it themselves.
isn't that because of the business model of for like anime? Isn't because I
Oh,
think
yeah.
the business model the issue? Because like generally like it doesn't matter how popular something is if the way that thing makes money isn't like properly sorted, then the company or whatever it is will fail. It's the same with like what happened to Vine. Vine had like a lot of popular influences, but the company like wasn't really making money and had to like close down. But well, obviously the influencers moved on to other platforms like YouTube and Instagram or wherever they went, or Snapchat. But it's more like in the case of Vine, the actual people who were attracting people benefited, but the actual company didn't make any money from it. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with their business model, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you can continue.
Because like what you said about the model is one half of the problem. Because most of the stuff, like how it is when anime gets popular, it's not like Shounen Jump produces the thing, but usually the advertisement companies that let's say Attack on Titan is popular, then they a bunch of other different companies come together. So what they call is risk management. So all these companies come together. Yeah, let's just say this animation will cost about $2 million for the standard 12 episodes, right?
Yeah.
They come together. Then let's just say
wait, did you say like 2 million for all the 12 episodes, or 2 million for one episode?
2 million for the 12 episodes.
Okay, cool. Okay.
No, this is not like American stuff where where an episode of Simpsons 1 million per episode, which is like crazy. Like in Japan, usually a full episode you can get a full animation done for about 120,000, depending on the animation and the teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So usually, let's just say 4 different companies come together and they work on the animation. So they share the risk of the thing, so that one company doesn't avoid taking the hit. Let's just say the animation doesn't do well. So what's happening now, since because of this model and stuff like that, most of the money goes, most of the profits actually go to these. If it does well, then most of the profits go to one, the original creator. Secondly, the company, the publishing house. Then the advertisements and stuff like that. So there's no room for for the animators to get a lot of money out of that. So they just give it their standard fee, the overworked, and yeah, it's kind of really sad that animators and animators are not really the pushy kind of people, because the writers are unions, actors are unions, but then the animators, they are very meek and humble people, so they don't really have the benefit of these unions. So they don't, I could be wrong, or I could be missing a few things, but then this is just a small gist of the animation, how the animation industry goes. So I'm forgetting who was doing this interview, but then to ask if Western influence is improving the life of anime. But then it turns out that they happen because most animation companies are in the red because they're not really turning that much of a profit. Because certain things that you may think they're popular end up not being as popular as before, so they end up tanking, or let's just say the week on week ratings are keeping declining. So the first 3 episodes have high ratings, and then towards the end it just flattens out. So usually that's why you see most of these days you have like 12 episode anime that will never probably get a season 2 ever in its lifetime, unless there's some cash and weeb otaku from America or from Africa or from wherever who just comes and says that I want to spend $100 million on that anime, but life doesn't work like that. So the life of animators hasn't really changed, but then the work is actually increased as well, because Netflix have like a tight deadline. So then they're just telling these guys produce. But then the work is now harder and faster, because they have to because Netflix has uses everything in one go. So the work is now harder and thin, yet the pay is still low. So that's actually kind of a downer in terms of the animation. And people are actually blaming Isekai for it. What are your thoughts on that?
They're blaming Isekai anime for being over.
Well, they say that because it's oversaturated, because they're saying that Isekai has just been, mass produced one after the other. But then
are they blaming Isekai for the fact that it's mass producing low quality anime? Is that the issue?
kind of, or that's what the other, the weeds are saying. They're just saying that there is a kind of, but then people
So,
actually underestimating how popular the genre of isekai is in Japan.
I'm pretty sure it is. Like, don't they have like a? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if something like isekai is popular in Japan because, okay, this is just me thinking. Hypothetically speaking, I've never been to Japan. I cannot say I can actually think or understand the issues that Japanese people deal with. Because they have their own government, they have their own laws, etc. But generally, from what I know, is that they have like a really intense, strict culture like working culture, because like mostly people are at work, and pretty much when you're now working, like your coworkers become like family or something like that, and your boss is like like the father of the company, or rather father of the family, and you spend most of your time there. So I'm pretty sure like they work from like way early and finish like late in the evening. So I'm guessing
Oh yeah.
like a really intense work culture. Like I don't think it's everywhere. I've watched like some documentaries, especially one about this guy who does game design at Capcom. The dude actually finishes at 6. I was like, well, maybe when it's a normal day. I'm pretty sure that doesn't apply to when they have crunch time. They need to ship a game and they have like a deadline, and everyone's on deck and they're clocking all nighters, finishing at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. But for the most part, I've seen that the employees finish late. They don't really have like much time to just fool around. It's like work, come back late, sleep, rinse and repeat. And maybe on weekends they have free time. So I'm guessing like with something like isekai, like I'm pretty sure you'd love something like that, an escapist thing, because I'm pretty sure for people who are not in that country, they wouldn't really get the value or understand the impact of like, a particular genre. Because I don't know, I'm just thinking if that was my lifestyle where I just grind, finish at 10 or 11 in the evening, maybe I get to do things with my life. I don't know. Maybe after a while I'll become you know how it is, right? Like work stress, they can't get hard anymore. It's like, holy shit, things again. It's like anime. That time when I got
Which,
and reincarnate big dick that doesn't get flaccid or something like that.
dude, why are you such an asshole? Like, you
Yeah,
have to really bring
that'll
that
be
up.
my escapism. Like, yeah, in this imaginary world, I'm on top. I never run out of juice.
No, which is funny because there's actually an isekai about exactly what you're explaining. I think it was one of the early ones called this much, where it's about a programmer. It's the first episode's about this programmer guy who's working on a game about a deadline, and he's sleeping in the office. You can just tell that this guy, the people, the company is overworked, and it was really showing that the culture of how these guys are overworked and stuff like that. And then he dies in his sleep, as in tradition of isekai, and he gets reincarnated into a different world. But then he still, what I like most about this anime is he still keeps, although he's now like young, like 15 years old and stuff like that, he still has the personality of an adult, of him being 30 years old. So he's like a kid, but then he acts like an adult. So it kind of makes sense. Unlike this other isekai that I watched called The Eighth Son, where the guy is an adult and he's a proper thinking adult, and then he gets isekai into a world. He forgets everything that is about him being an adult, and then and he acts like a kid. I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? It's not like he lost his memory or anything. It's like he just forgot that he was an adult and he started acting like a kid, and just to me, it just did not make sense. Although I do like the anime, it just felt like it just didn't have that touch of reasoning why this guy's adult, or reason why the protagonist is this kid. But in the other one that I was talking before, like the reason why he's this tense is because of he's 15 years old, although and this other chick was also 15, like him, but inside he's an adult, so he can't really be with a 15-year-old. But he's getting those weird vibes, and then these other slave girls that he saved, he can't really who bangs them because he feels like like what you're saying, he's the head of the family and these are all like his children. So it kind of feels wrong for him to stick it. Oh, if he was African, bruh, this guy would be all these chicks would be pregnant, but then I'm not saying that Japanese people are into now. They've got a bit of honor to them. Us guys this side, we just fuck everything that walks. If it's got two legs, we fuck it.
Okay, man. I mean, right now we're in the Black Lives movement, so we should like giving like a positive portrayal of African men. So
No. Let's not get fooled. Like that's an American problem. Like there are already
yeah,
a lot of like for that. And I'm just
yeah,
putting it as it is. Us niggas like to fuck things. Like
yeah,
if anything, if it's not tied down to anything, we're going to fuck it.
yeah. I get you. As far as I don't know, like again, when it comes to this whole isekai, I'm not really much of a fan. Like the only isekai anime I'm really a fan of is RE0, which I'm currently watching. I think I've seen the first 2 episodes for season 2. I haven't seen episode 3, but that's the only thing I've been looking forward to watching. But I don't know. I don't think that's really a reasonable excuse to think that isekai is ruining things. I mean, maybe it's become oversaturated and it's popular, but I don't know. You just feed people what they want. I mean, if Japanese people like escapist entertainment about them like dying and leaving the real world, then, let them consume it.
Okay, I pulled out the article. It says that the management at one animation production company that provides anime to Netflix commented, if the anime is a hit, it's a win for Netflix. But if it's a loss, it's our loss as a production company. The reason for this is because under Netflix license deals, the streaming rights are bought up outright, and the production company does not receive any royalties, no matter how many views the anime gets. So that's one of the problems that they're having. Since Netflix kind of like is everything, they don't have like a streaming. So whatever, even if the anime is a hit, the animation company would have gotten its 2 million or 5 million for the production of that anime, and the property now belongs to the animator. I mean, to the Netflix and the originator.
I see. But I have a feeling. Okay, what's it called? Remember, there's Powerhouse Studios, right? The one that did Castlevania.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly an American team that's doing, well, kind of looking. Well, it's more Western looking than it is Japanese looking, but it's kind of like, mimicking anime. But I feel like most likely, if I'm being honest, if we were to compare their rates, I mean, it's because they live in the West, or like, in a Western country, like America. So most likely, the amount they make is way more than most of the guys in Japan. If I'm being honest.
Probably that's what they do, because I'm actually seeing what Powerhouse Studios have actually made. Castlevania, made these weird, I could say these one-shot kinds of anime. It's a small world, Henry Dagger, motion comic, Castlevania, OKK, all zeros. It's quite a lot of animation to this name. So yeah, it's an American thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they make more, like generally.
Probably, or what if they could? It could be an American company, but they could outsource most of their stuff to other countries.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Get a better deal.
See for that. Which interview? Okay, so there's this animator called Henry Thallo. I'm pretty sure you know him because I think what's the name of that studio that your brother mentioned? I wanted to partner with Afro Tokyo.
So, GGO.
Yeah, that one.
I'm forgetting. Yeah.
But anyways, like one of the guys, Henry Thallo, like the white dude, like the American guy who worked on One Piece, and like he's done like a lot of animations for Studio Pierrot and EDC. Like he mentioned like before he made the transition from working like at American Animations to now working at Japan. He was awake, like making a lot more money, like making animation he wasn't proud of. But now that he's making animation he's proud of, is can barely make ends meet. I don't know how far true that is now. Because like usually the assumption is, just because you're in a company doesn't mean that you're pretty much doing well. Like, hey, I worked on Ghost in the
Yeah,
Shell.
that's true.
I worked on One Piece. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna be being. All I know is that. Okay, what did he say? I think the is it toy animation, or is it? I'm forgetting, but I think there's one studio in Japan that pays the most. I think the one that does Dragon Ball Super. If I'm not mistaken, like they get paid the most. At least they're well taken care of. I don't know what their definition of well paid is, but yeah.
That's true. So yeah, well, that was just a bit of the of what's happening in the anime industry,
Yeah.
which is you know kind of sad. But like what you said, that maybe the weeds are getting it wrong, saying that it's oversaturated of the thing, because if it's still good and if it's getting produced, I doubt. But then I think the ones that are hurting are the production companies, in the sense that uh many of these things are just popular in Japan. Most of them are not really too much a big hit in the West. Like Western stuff that they hit is usually things like My Hero Academia is like it's now the new Naruto of 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 this generation, which kind of makes sense, because if you really look at American stuff, like all the anime that have been a hit in the states, like cult classics, they've always had some sort of I wouldn't know much about Naruto, but then My Hero Academia, America has got roots in culture and in superheroes and stuff like that. So it
I guess maybe more.
there was once a complete phase in America, so it kind of caught on. So here and there, I could say that what do you call it? It's very very like, because what I mean by when anime is like a huge success, I'm talking about having that those classics where you have the memes, you have the black memers going all out and stuff like that. And currently, all I'm seeing is My Hero Academia, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z. Those are the three big, you know, uh, things I can say are big Western
Yeah, don't
pop
forget Attack on
in
Titan.
America and stuff like that. Oh yes, Attack on. Oh, I'm forgetting about Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is another one. I keep forgetting about that one.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. I guess so. I'm guessing for the bulk of this episode, we'll be talking shop industry stuff. I mean, about an industry
Oh yeah.
that we just observe and get secondary information from articles and.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, because it's more like that. Getting the information, doing our research, seeing what the industry. Because none of us are in Japan, and the news that comes out is always in Japanese, and we have to either go to Google Translate to catch up with it, or get the abridged version from Anime News Network, or all the other sites, or our favorite YouTubers and stuff like that. I particularly like getting information from a lot of sources, so that I can come up with one good, congruent set of information, rather than just following this guy or this site or this site, because some of these sites may lead me astray. So I like to have an open mind, so I can come up with my own conclusion.
Yeah, cool. Any more articles that you?
So, well, we could talk about Shounen Jump.
All right, cool. So I'm guessing I remember you stated that you wanted to talk about the state of Shonen Jump. Well, as for the fact that a lot of their titles are, ending, and the only titles that are staying are the long-running ones. And yeah, One Piece. Yeah, that bastard that won't end.
So yeah, so this year, if, or the past 2 years, a lot of anime have ended, or not anime, manga have been ending. So far, I think last year, I think Food Wars just ended last year, and then this year Demon Slayer ended, Promise Neverland ended, Haiku also ended. So that's four major titles that have kind of ended within Shonen Jump, and I think they have got about around 20 titles which are in circulation on that weekly Shonen Jump thing. But these were like four of the most popular ones.
Yeah,
So seeing that most of these things like
wasn't Food Wars losing like momentum? Because I remember, okay, like I think I stopped reading it around the 230s, and because like after a while, when you continue reading weekly, when you get like a lot of those filler chapters, you kind of get detracted, and then you stop like reading. So then weeks pass by, and before you know it, the manga's over. But I've heard like a lot of people saying that it did like a nosedive. Like I think when what's her name? Arena. That's her name, right? The daughter of the boss chef.
oh yeah, that. Oh yeah.
That one. Yeah, so when her dad shows up and they try to like get the other chefs like expelled from the school, etc. Yeah, like when that whole entire drama like happens, I think the story as it progresses, it like goes into like a meltdown, and like a lot of people lost interest. I think that's part of the reason why it was getting cancelled. I don't know how badly it was selling or how badly it was doing in the what's it called that thing where people like, the readers send like votes, the reader poll, right?
Oh no, it was it. Yeah, it wasn't doing too bad. It was doing well. I can't say it was doing the best, but it was actually there. Like I could say it wasn't part of the top ones, but then it was there. But then like what you're saying, people did have, or the readers did have an issue with after, because after the season when the Arena's dad kind of came back, and they finished all that thing, and the Ben Soma became like the number one chef and stuff like that. That kind of felt like the end of Food Wars. Like if you said that Food Wars ended like that, people would be content, like, and stuff like that. But then the later seasons, it's not like too bad, but then more like there is no real threat. I think what happens in the later chapters is like they now go into that competition called the Blue, that international competition where the one that dad fails to compete in because he was suffering from fatigue and stuff like that, cooking fatigue. So I think that's the one that, and then I think the main villain of that arc is Arena's mom.
Oh, Arena's mom. Good to see the mother.
So yeah, the mother, the actual
is okay. I know it's gonna sound pretty perverse, but is she like super attractive and packing heat?
Yes, probably yes. This is Food Wars. Right? This is an
I know. I'm just asking because like you know how that dude draws women, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I mean him and Boichi is at the extremes because like the women he draws, like the only urge you get is just to like reproduce and to pass on your genes. It's like it's literally like your base animal instincts. Like this is a female with attractive characteristics. I am a male who wishes to pass on these attractive characteristics to my seed. So let me mate and have offspring that has these positive characteristics. So, but I'm just the way that the food was carried, like they really like of course they're busty and all, but they're also very cute. So yeah, it's weird.
She's okay.
Mm,
But then she's got like she looks more like a villain. Like I can actually tell why she looks like this because, or why she acts like this. Because the mom looks
mm.
like a villain, the dad looks like a villain. So I'm just like, damn. No
Doesn't
wonder
the dad
she
look
kind of
like a posh? What's up with villains being posh? Like, is royalty supposed to be like a bunch of snobby bastards? But yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. I guess food
Because
wars.
in the manga,
Mm.
because in the manga, when like after the time skip, like she just becomes like super busty, like really busty. I'm just like, damn. Like you're just 20 years old, but you look like some. Uh, which who can I? Which monster looks that hot? I just don't know monster's name, but whatever monster that's out there that has big tits, she looks like that. Like just like if a person like this existed in the real world,
Mm.
like you'd just be like, damn.
Yeah, so it's insane. I mean, yeah, I guess you need the fan service. You need these sexually repressed Japanese men to be like, oh, ooh, sugoi. When they flip pages for
That's
yeah.
that's true.
Okay.
So yeah,
Mm,
so there was food wars that ended,
mm,
and then there was I'm forgetting some, but then there was Black what not Black Clover, Demon
Demon
Slayer
Slayer.
that recently ended. The
Mm.
cult phenomenon that's just doing well in manga stuff, like you know because if
38
you really
million?
strip down the basis of the story, it's like very nice and simple to understand. Like it's not overly complex, and it's just a good coherent story from A to Z. It doesn't sidetrack. I think that's why people like it because the story that goes straight to the point.
Yeah, yeah.
Unlike these other ones that
Like
just
Demon Slayer had real stakes, like in the story. Okay, because like it is pretty much following the typical um shonen formula, but it's like getting straight to the point. It doesn't waste time. I think I'm gonna butcher her name, Kotuga. Okay, I'm not even gonna try. It's gonna be bad. But like the female manga artist, I think
yeah.
her and who knows, because like manga is a collaborative thing, so you never know. Maybe it was the assistant or saying, I'm tired of reading the same old bullcrap in manga. You should make sure that when you write or when you come up with these manuscripts, just go straight to the point. Just like, yes, editor, I'll listen to you. Maybe that was the case. But I'm just thinking. You never know. You never know what happens behind the closet. How the sausage is made. But yeah, genuinely, the real stakes, like Demon Slayer felt like a good version of Bleach, like a proper version of Bleach. Like so there are real stakes. You actually do fear for like the characters, and some of your favorite characters die, and also like the character designs, and even like I think Kobayashi, right? Is it damn. I need to just remember his name, but I think it was Yorichi's brother, the one who envied him because like he knew how to see things through the sixth sense. Like he could see people's like anatomy and how they breathe. Did you see? Then came out that breathing technique. That battle.
Oh yeah.
With the three Hashiras, that was freaking.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how it's gonna be in anime format, but like reading that, the way like she paneled everything, the way everything was drawn, like it was hype. That was like watching like a hype anime, but like reading it through manga. So I genuinely feel like Demon Slayer deserves all the praise that it got. It is. I wouldn't say it's misfortunate that it ended. I think it's good. Maybe she can then come up with something new, and she can how to duel herself, or maybe she'll just crash and burn and make a turd, like what Akira Toriyama did with what's that manga that he did? The one about the samurai, Samurai 7, Samurai something. What's it called?
Which one is that one?
Okay, let me just Google a samurai manga by Kishimoto. It's called Samurai 8, The Tale of Hachimaru.
Yeah.
Wait, you know about it, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, you know it got cancelled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't doing well, and it got destroyed. Like literally got cancelled. So yeah, no one is. Okay, he was writing the story. He wasn't actually drawing it, but same guy who came up with Naruto. I mean, of course, Naruto's writing was not going down the shitter towards the end, like especially with ass pulls like
with the
Kaguya,
with the alien
from now and making us like, because it was I remember like a similar complaint was made concerning Avengers Endgame, because like the Thanos that they needed died. And even though the Thanos from the other universe is still Thanos, it wasn't the Thanos who snapped the gauntlet the first time. But but that's like comparing like a ripe fruit to like a rotten carcass. And in this case, Naruto would be the rotten carcass because Kaguya was just an asshole.
Yeah, like the part with the alien just really got me to be like, wow. But then it is what it is, which also goes with me, takes me back to Food Wars. Like how, like the reason why I like it is because it's the essence of what a shonen manga should be. Like everything about it is 100% shonen, and it's a standard kind of formula for shonen manga. Like when you watch it, it's got all the elements of shonen that you get your hyped up. A shonen main character, good rivalries and stuff like that. Everything about it is, it's shonen to the letter. So that's why, I won't have anything bad to say about Food Wars. I would give it a solid, 7.5 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. It's like it's good the way it is. It's one of those ones where you don't have to overly think, where the world is not about to blow up and stuff like that. It's just a good show about cooking and making the best and making food orgasms. Like that's messed up, but then that is just good. Like that's some good shonen.
Yeah, no, food's so good you wanna fuck. That should be like the message. Yeah.
And then the other anime, the other one that's going, that finished was Promised Neverland.
Yeah. I think the author did say it was going to end soon.
Yeah, but then it's one of those things where, it goes back to the word I'm talking about. Like so many of their titles have just been going down, and the ones that that haven't are not there. Like One Piece is in there, and I believe that One Piece is now, what can I say, now getting towards its climax with what's been happening in the recent manga. But
yeah,
then
I haven't been really keeping up. I don't know. You just tell me when it's good, then I'll start reading.
I'll recommend you read. Okay, I'll read this week's episode, and then I'll recommend you read from the latest 5 chapters going up or wherever. But yeah, cool. It's now reaching like almost the levels of
Marineford.
What's that arc called? Yeah, the Marineford. It's almost reaching those kind of levels. Like,
I hope you're not overhyping me, man, because it's one thing I do dislike is when someone says that it no longer sucks. It's just as good as it was back in the day.
No.
Read it.
This
you're
one
like, What is?
Because this doesn't just feel like a generic arc, which is like an arc that's going to happen. But this feels like they're almost about to reach somewhere. Like the stakes are now getting higher and higher, which is kind of good. Like team up between Big Mom and Kaido. Yeah.
Okay. I'll not be optimistic.
Okay. The thing which I liked about it is because One Piece for a long time they've just been focusing on other stories, but in this chapter they actually show that when Kaido and One Piece and Big Mom joined forces, they're saying that they wanted to take over the world and establish a new world government and stuff like that. A pirate city and stuff like that, and even go after the One Piece. I'm just like, of all the funny things, we hardly hear people talking about the One Piece anymore. Just about these world weapons or these stuff like that. But then now they're just, to mention that, these guys are actually mentioning the One Piece. But it's been a fan since people have actually talked about the One Piece. The One Piece hasn't been a focal point about the whole thing, which strange to find out. I still don't even know what the One Piece is. Like, I still have a feeling that the One Piece is Luffy's ass.
Yeah, highly unlikely. Because if it was, like, Oda would be the biggest troll in the world.
No, it could be Luffy's ass. Like, I just have a feeling that the One Piece is Luffy all the time.
Alright, cool. So, anyways,
the second option would be the One Piece never existed.
Okay, so let me put in my 2 cents. Okay, so I guess for the state of Shonen Jump, or maybe let me think about it from a, I guess, consumer level. Like, okay, so if there's a lot of, I guess, competition, especially among titles in the magazine, I don't know if Oda still gets pressure, but I think when Bleach and Naruto, especially Naruto when it was still good, I don't know. This is just anecdotal and me making an assumption, but I have a feeling that probably Oda was like incited to at least make a good shit because he had like a rival. Someone was actually challenging him and taking a share of the market in terms of manga sales. So he had every incentive to stay on top and not get his ass kicked. I think at one point, Naruto outsold One Piece back in the day. That was like before is it the 9-year streak? Was it the 10-year streak? Because I know Demon Slayer broke the One Piece streak, but like way back, Naruto, and even I think did so. Like I think when it was hype, but for the most part, that era ended and Naruto became meh. Bleach became dog shit and got cancelled. That wasn't like a proper ending. It got cancelled for those Bleach fans who are in denial. Yes, it got cancelled. Generally speaking, after all those competitors are gone, Oda was like, hey, I have no pressure. No one's challenging me. People continue reading my manga even if I sometimes release me mediocre like material. I'm pretty sure he got inspired. But
why are you hating on Oda again? Like,
wait. Let me finish my rant. And he probably got inspired by Yoshiro, the Hunter x Hunter guy. The Hunter x Hunter comes out, volume sells like 3 million copies, even though it comes out after 2 years or 3 years, and the art mostly looks like hogwash. Because I don't know, man, the guy's got back pains that impair his drawing abilities when he has so much time. Like, if you read old Yu Yu Hakusho art, so the manga, like if you check out the Yu Yu Hakusho art, like some of the art, okay, it was inconsistent, but if the dude wanted to do something highly rendered, he could do it. If he wanted to do something detailed or with effort, he could do it. I mean, there are some chapters, even in the more modern Hunter x Hunter, that look well drawn. But for the most part, they look low effort. And like, I don't know what this guy is suffering from. I don't know if it's like really intense back pain that cripples his fingers. Like he draws like someone with the shake. Like literally, like he tries to draw and he goes off balance and he needs someone to support him. Like maybe like you know how like you got an old person who can't shit by themselves, so they need an assist. I'm pretty sure that's how he draws.
Dude,
Takes 2 years and it
you should
takes two
see his
years
reviews.
and the art doesn't look at all fantastic. You're like, bro, you've got all this time. This is the end product. I mean, the Berserk guy. I mean,
Dude,
Berserk,
you're an
he
answer.
makes an effort. It shows that this took a while to be made. But man, so I think this is what happened. The older guy was like, I can just release my garbage shit and people just eat it up. I mean, okay, so this is okay. No, let me get real instead of just ranting. So I think One Piece, the appeal is like the pledge or the promise of the story. Like that's pretty much why people are continually like reading, because you want to know about the world government. You want to know about all these secrets, all these what is it called? Like those getting the name of those things, but those weapons, the secret weapons that are connected to the poneglyphs, like all that stuff. Like it's interesting. So it has a lot of things that keep you interested in knowing what's going to come next. It's just the problem is that it's a chore to go through some of the chapters before you get to the interesting things. As far as I'm concerned, best chapter that I experienced, apart from some of the chapters in the Dressrosa arc, in the entirety of modern One Piece, was the Reverie arc. Well, I think was it 2 chapters of the Reverie where the world governments joined. Dude, those chapters felt like Marineford quality, like One Piece. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Oda teleported or time traveled, or maybe his younger self possessed his older self, and he started writing and drawing. but after that, bro, we were back to Wano. Wano is inconsistent as hell. Like, I mean, yeah, the art direction and the culture is pretty cool, but most of it is a chore to read. Like, literally, like, dude, I'm not gonna like pretend anymore. Like, One Piece is not as good as it used to be. It is fucking chore to read. It's hard. It's painful. It's not good. One Piece is not fun to read. I would rather read One Punch Man or even My Hero Academia. I mean, My Hero Academia, as far as I'm concerned, like art-wise, is more engaging. Like there are a lot of like compositional techniques and principles and design, like principles that are being applied that make reading it much more enjoyable. I'll for one say that One Piece has a much more interesting story than My Hero Academia, because like there's a lot that it's promising, and if you've been reading it for a while, or if you've like read through all the 900 and whatever chapters, you have like an emotional investment. You want to know more. You have, an attachment to some of these characters, even though like Oda makes it like he's punishing you. He's punishing you for being invested. It gives you like dog shit chapters. You just eat it up. And he has no competition. Okay, so I went off tangent, but the whole point is that because of all these other titles ending, Oda has no competition. And because he has no competition, he has no incentive to improve. So One Piece is not going to be good for a while.
Dude. Is that what you said? You took on
the state of Shounen Jump. We need a manga to make Order like lose his shit and feel like, hey, bro, if I don't work hard, someone's gonna take over. Someone's gonna kick my ass and dethrone me. And a woman dethroned him, but she ended her manga, so that's it. Who do you think? I'll be honest, I don't think My Hero Academia is gonna dethrone One Piece. No, it's not.
So then, Hanukkah, what do you call it? You said that's going to be the new one.
That's someone making a statement. Doesn't mean it will happen.
Dude.
Anyway, so I went off tangent and decided to rant. I've got all these, emotions, man. I just need to get them out. I don't know. I'll harm myself.
Uh, which is funny because now you're reverting back to your old ways. Used to be like a guy used to hate on order and you sucked his dick. Now you're hating on him again. Like you don't
No.
like
I'm being honest. Like
the talking of
the
old ways.
chapters of One Piece that I did enjoy, I really did enjoy. Like like I said, I mentioned the review was pretty good, but for the most part, it's not It's not like for Demon Slayer the stakes. Like the reason why it was really good is because, like yeah, first of all, like whenever like the Demon Slayers, the foot soldiers would have a battle. If the demon was hard to defeat, they would struggle, come back with injuries, and they'll go to the infirmary. And how long would they be in the infirmary? Like a month or two, bro. How real it is. Need a month or two to recover before you can put, like, then they go through physiotherapy. I mean, of course, when you breeze through those chapters, they make it seem like, it's nothing. But, those guys were decommissioned for a month or two.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I went off on a tangent, but yeah, you were talking these titles that are ending so quickly.
I think from what I'm noticing, those are the ones. Then there's Kaizo. What's Kaizen? Kaizi. I'm forgetting the name. The one that's actually the one about the ghost hunting and stuff like that. That one is actually quite good. Like people are sleeping on that, but then that looks like it's going to be the next stage.
Yeah, isn't there like that new one, Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah, that one.
The one that's apparently kind of like similar to Bleach, but I don't think the art, like in all departments, background or even character, like even competes with. And I'm gonna praise Kubo like just once, but at least the character art and the character designs had like an appeal. Jujutsu Kaisen, like I would have to read a bit more of it, but so far I'm like, I guess
it's okay. You guys are just sleeping on it, but then it's a good one. Like when it's popular and it's popping, you guys should know. You should come back and say that the prophet was correct.
Well, the anime prophet, the man with his cult.
Yes. That's my thing now. I think the future of anime, I guess. That's my thing now. Yeah, DJ and I'm a prophet doing a podcast. Two guys, a DJ and a prophet, talking about anime and weed stuff.
Yeah.
And not getting laid or getting laid. Who knows?
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's all I wanted to say about the thing for Shounen Jump. Like, that titles are ending and now they're doing this international Shounen Jump competition.
I mean, like all the manga contests.
Like the guidance they have what it takes. Because one of the judges said that or the problem with Shounen, the people that are submitting stuff for Shounen Jump, they say that most of the stuff that they're submitting is a can. And it's a
wait. Before you go any further, let's have like a context so that people are listening will get what you're talking about. So basically,
they will listen. Our audience is a bunch of idiots.
No, come on, dude. Don't be a douche. Let's explain.
Let's put some context.
Okay.
Let's just hold their hand.
Okay, cool. So basically, what my co-host Nyasha, the anime prophet, is talking about. Okay, so lately, most of these manga companies have been hosting international manga contests. So there's the Silent Manga Contest. We've got Shounen Sunday Manga Contest. We got like a lot from these magazines. And even like the Japanese embassy has like annual manga contests that anyone from any of the countries can enter. Like you kind of have to submit via the Japanese embassy. I don't know if you can do that right now because of the coronavirus. I don't know. Maybe you can email, but I don't think they'll allow you in the building because I guess they'll be concerned. Yeah, they'll probably decontaminate you and go through the entire process. But anyways, so if you're a gaijin, a non-Japanese person, a foreigner, you can draw like something. Sometimes they'll give you a theme, like some silent manga contest, or sometimes they'll just say come up with your own story. Make sure it's kind of like a shonen. If you're submitting it to like Shonen Sunday or Shonen Jump, then yeah, you work on your manga project. You send it. It gets judged. You win some money, and depending on where you live, like the prize pools are like usually like 100,000 to 1,000,000 yen, and yeah, depending on where you live on this earth, that can be life-changing money. Like yeah, especially if you live in Zimbabwe like us, that money can move things, can make things happen. But apart from monetary incentives from these contests, like you have a chance of becoming a manga artist, or it's either you could win and one thing I know, at least from what I've learned from Bakuman, also what I've learned from reading like manga biographies, is that just because you won a contest doesn't mean that you immediately get serialized. You will kind of have to go through, I guess, a pre-production development phase where you interact with an editor. So you come up with a concept and you refine it until it is, publication worthy. Because once it's publication worthy, then the magazine will start serializing it. And if you can survive I remember like back in the day, there was a grace period. Like if within the 3 or 4 chapters of you publishing your manga, if it doesn't like appeal to anyone, if it doesn't really reach like an audience, they would cancel it. So not to sound I guess a cynical or a real person, but I'm just trying to say that just because you won a contest doesn't mean it's the end. You still need to go through other barriers to entry so that you can then start serializing. But that's mostly like talking about like what's already known about like Japanese artists and how they have to fight through the fear of being cancelled. Like most people who say things that they're not supposed to say and they get cancelled on the internet. Yeah, but people not Japanese have the opportunity to enter this. And from what I've noticed, at least, because like I've tried, I suck, so never won shit. But from what I've noticed is that like the peeps from Brazil, the Brazilian artists. Brazil, like I've checked out like in some, like if you check out concept art, like interviews, like Brazilian artists who work in the film industry or ETC, or even someone like Rafael Grassetti, or he's more like a 3D modeler. But the anime like fad or hit like Brazil really hard, and they were really into it. They went crazy, manga and stuff. So apart from like the fad, generally like in terms of technical level and skill, Brazilian artists are very good. Like in most manga contests, like they show up and they deliver. Well, at least from what I've noticed. But other than that, I think I'm now losing my train of thought. I was just explaining that the international manga contest that people who are not Japanese can enter, and if you're good enough, you can get selected, and you could be a mangaka. I don't know if you
and become overworked and enjoy isekai manga anime that comes out weekly. So the escapism.
So okay, you were saying.
Yeah.
The
Okay. I
isekai
was
manga
just
entries.
changing my. Oh yeah. I was just saying, isekai. Most of them are end. The Shonen Jump is not really looking for that because the anime industry is oversaturated with them, and the fact that many, or if you want to do anything isekai, you go to the other company that does light novels and stuff like that. What's it called?
Kadokawa.
Uh,
It's called Kadokawa.
yeah, Kadokawa. That Kadokawa. Yeah, that's the one that's for fantasy, light novels, isekai and stuff like that. So it's really well thing segregated
Okay.
or segmented or
Okay. So the issue they have,
yeah.
there have been like the
So
submissions have
the
been
issue
isekai.
have been generic. That's what they're saying.
Oh.
They're looking for that new spice. They're looking for that One Piece, that Demon Slayer, that thing that'll jerk people's dicks off.
No, what? Wait, you just said something inappropriate. I want you to say that again, but slower.
Oh, I'm saying they're looking for something that'll jerk people's dicks off.
Eject people's dicks off.
No, jerk people's dicks off. Like
no, it's not like you said eject.
Well,
you want people to lose their genitals? Like it's so good that they lose their genitals.
No,
eject their dicks off. Like, what is wrong with you, dude?
I said jerk their dicks off, not eject. You've got bad ears.
Anyways, yeah, probably like
or make fannies with.
Okay.
We don't discriminate. We're not sexist.
Yeah. Let's move on. Okay, so all right. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so I have read some of the comments on these manga contests. I mean, like I'll honestly admit that in terms of technical skill, I'm not good enough to win any contest at the moment. I'll probably need like 2 or 3 more years before I can even enter, because right now, as these contests get more popular, people at high level will show up and they'll try to compete and win. And when they win, they win and they deserve it because they put in the time to get good. But there are contests that I have checked out where people will submit and no one wins anything, or maybe the lowest entry prize is the one that gets money, but the best prize isn't awarded to anyone. So I found it kind of interesting because I'm guessing.
Well, they want to get the best of the best.
Yeah,
because just want to get any random.
Because it became really clear to me that for some people entering the contest, probably they see that if you win 100,000 or 1 million yen, they could solve their problems. Maybe they're in debt. They just need to get this money, and they'll be good. But
yeah,
I'm guessing those will enter because they want to make something that's good or something that will transcend the contest. I think those will really win. Granted, they have the technical skill and they actually are telling a really good story, because I'm pretty sure after a while, even though we might be art Nazis and we like the Ralph McQuarries or the Craig Mallins or any of those dudes who are really good at art and illustration, or the Jim Lees, or we could talk about some of the seinen artists in manga, like the Tsugumi ETC or Takeshi Nyo, Vagabond guy, or even Katsuya Ottoman. I'm just name dropping, just for fun's sake. But after all, the story just needs to resonate. I mean, what's it called? The Attack on Titan guy. When he made his manga submission for Shounen Jump, his art wasn't that hot. It was actually pretty bad, and he even said that his art was the worst out of all the manga that was submitted in Shounen Jump, which is, it's pretty harsh when the magazine tells you that even though your story was appealing and people voted for it, your art was the worst out of all the submissions. It was dog shit. They literally told you it was bad. But for some reason, because the story was appealing, you made it. So after a while, because like I have a feeling that after a while, especially with the access to online resources, especially if you're, because like if you're an artist or if you're an obsessive, eventually you will overcome the mediocrity curve and you start drawing well. So what would differentiate you from other people who can also draw well? Because like now I guess the standard of what's considered acceptable or what's considered average art is now high. How do you then stand out? Like if everyone can draw well, like well, how do you stand out? So yeah, I guess I wasn't surprised. I think I'm forgetting which magazine was, but it was a contest that was posted on Medibank. For those who don't know, Medibank is like social media for art or like posting, like it's like, you know, posting comics, illustration, but mostly manga centric. And they often have like announcements and posts for manga contests, etc., and illustration contests from big companies from Japan. So maybe there could be a Demon Slayer draw poster contest, and like a lot of people enter etc. They submit, some win, some don't. But at least from what I've noticed, like from the submissions, is that generally these organizations are looking forward to having the next big thing. So they're not just putting these contests for you to just win and maybe cover your bills for the next 6 months. That's not the goal. They want you to make something that's so good, the next One Piece or Attack on Titan. So when you enter these contests, I don't know, I think you should be just thinking about destroying like One Piece or Demon Slayer or Attack on Titan. Like you should think that, you know, when these guys are gone, can I become the next flagship title for this magazine? So I'm just, you know, thinking that, I don't know. Anyways, I shouldn't be saying that. I'm not even that good. So why should people listen to my advice? But I'm just saying, yeah, when you do enter this content, you take them seriously because they really want you to, you know, to be striving for that. Anyways, yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about concerning the?
I think I'm good for today. Like I just needed to talk about those few things and how they're looking for the next big thing. So if you are bold enough for having the big story, you could actually be the next Demon Slayer. But then, like what the BJ said, you know, you need good art and good storyline, and just don't join for the sake of joining. You need, you know, be focused, and you have to be ready for in the chance that you do, and you have to be ready for the grind that comes with it, because, you know, producing 300, you know, producing weekly chapters and only resting for like 2 or 3 weeks is, you know, no joke. So yeah, kind of real.
Unless if you're Hiro Mashima.
Oh, you know, these are big dogs. I'm talking about the small fries, like.
Yeah, no, but Hiro Mashima, like wasn't he drawing like two mangas at the same time, clocking 64 pages a week?
Drugs. That's all I can say. Drugs.
Well, you think it was drugs? Mind you, these are 64 pages that are well drawn. By the way, like it's not like he's half-assing. It's like, you know.
So that's a reason.
Because I will admit, even though I'm not much of a fan of Fairy Tail, like I think Fairy Tail is like okay, One Piece's art style is like a legacy machine that's lost in the 90s, and like Hiro Mashima's art style is like an improvement upon the One Piece art style. So it's like, you know, imagine you have like the latest Alienware or a MacBook. Like it's polished. Like the female characters are like way more attractive. Like literally, if you had to put a One Piece female character next to a Fairy Tail female character, like literally you would forget about the One Piece character. You would think she was a mannequin, and your Fairy Tail character was a real human being you'd actually want to smack. I'm just saying, like Hiro Mashima can draw. He can draw like the gestures, like characters are vibrant, and I can't say much for the story, but in terms of the way he draws, you get excited. Like I'm not just talking about like the wear, but generally like even the movement, the way their stances, their poses. Like, yeah, there's life in his art. You still there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still there. Sorry,
All
I
right, cool,
was
cool.
zoning out.
It's like, this guy's talking about Rachel Jack. Let me zone out. Anyway, so apart from this,
not that you,
yeah. So
yeah.
this weeb shit. Like, what else have you been checking out? Like, what's been interesting you lately?
Oh, apart from this weeb shit, huh? Well, I am a weeb. That I do is weeb related. So, other than that, what else?
Did I offend you, Prof?
Yes, you offended. You offended the. You shall incur the wrath of the weeb god.
You seem to be stammering, Prophet. Did I really? was it that bad that now you're stammering? What is that, Prophet? What are you saying?
Yeah, screw you, man.
Okay, no, I was just asking. Like, is there anything else you've been checking out? Like, what did you think of the Xbox conference? Did you enjoy it?
Well, then, I did in fact like the Xbox conference was good. So I never saw the full thing. I don't know what I was thinking when I got happened. I think my brother saw the thing.
Oh yeah, I think he was watching.
I'm not really a console guy.
Yeah,
I'm not really a console guy.
I wanted to ask you something.
So, yeah.
Okay, so back in the day, people called Kudzai Xbox. Why?
Why are you asking me these weird questions? Like, how am I supposed to know? Go ask Xbox himself. Maybe he can be a guest on this thing. Asking me all these questions, DJ.
No,
I am disappointed. Disappointed.
You live with this human being. You live with this human being. Like, I just want to know.
What?
He's
now, no.
Don't know why they called him.
No. If you want to ask him, make him a guest.
Sure.
Ask him yourself, okay? The audience does not need to know about this mysterious man called Xbox, okay? He does not exist. DJ BJ is hallucinating, okay? These are the two words
cool.
of the anime.
Don't worry. I'll ask Kudzai to be a guest.
Oh yes, you should. If he brings any star power to this podcast.
Yeah, no, like we'll just interview him. Like then I'll ask him, why did people call you Xbox? Because like as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't
see that's what he's supposed to do.
He doesn't seem like he cares that much about the Xbox. He's more like a Nintendo guy. At least from what.
Oh yeah, he's a Nintendo guy. Like, come on, you can't call someone Nintendo. Like that's not a cool nickname. Xbox.
So why would you call someone a different console when the games he likes are not from that console? Like,
hey, who knows? Like I said,
it's like calling you a DC fan, but you have hard on for Iron Man. Why? Hey, it's a DC guy, but he loves Iron Man.
Hey man, like I said,
makes sense.
Like I said, man, like it's
okay, cool. It seems like a sensitive subject. I'll ask him to be a guest. All right, cool. Okay, so is there anything you've checked out recently that has interested you? Like, I just want to know before I pitch my experiences.
Let's see. I played this game called Shogun 2.
Yeah, okay. And how was it?
Shogun 2. It was a good game, a strategy game. I liked it. I'm still getting used to it, but then I'll enjoy the game later. So far, I've just been, reading manga, watching anime, and reading light novels. Classic read shit.
Alright, cool. I haven't really checked out any light novels. I'll be honest, I'm not interested. The only thing I'm keeping up with is just reading manga. Like I am reading One Punch Man and My Hero Academia. I haven't checked out any other titles because I've read some classics like Oyasumi and all those those usual manga people recommend you, but for now it's just been My Hero Academia and spoiler alert, seems like Goku and Bakugo going to be duking it out against Shigaraki, and I don't know for how long. Eraser Man is going to be able to restrict.
I hope Bakugo dies. Like he should die.
That's not going to happen. They're not going to kill like the most popular character from the character pools. That's not going to happen.
He should die. He's an asshole. He should die.
Yeah, well, he's been saved by the fact that Japan likes assholes, so it is what it is, man. Or they like assholes who are competent. Like Jamie, I think if you're competent, people will forgive you. Anyways, I'll get to what I've been enjoying. So, all right, well, a couple of things. I've been watching this animated comedy TV series called F is for Family. So it's pretty much yeah, you've seen it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much it's about this guy called Frank Murphy. He's like he works like at I think at an airport, and he's got like a wife and 3 kids, and I think it's during the 70s, early 70s.
Oh yeah.
Late.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think late 60s or early 70s, and you get to see, like how life was like that, like then, and a bit of slapstick humor, and a lot of things go on. The Frank character has a temper. He shouts a lot. Apparently, he has like
obviously you can't expect less from Bill Burr.
Yeah. Bill Burr is the voice actor for Frank Murphy, and yeah, he does a really good job. Actually, I've never really told a lot of people, but like Bill Burr is like my favorite white comedian. Like, I think he's one of the funniest white people out there, and I don't think a lot of white people are funny.
You're racist piece of shit, man. What kind of man are you, man?
No, I'm just saying, bro. Like black people are way funny than white people.
Because you're black yourself, man. BJ, that's a new low for you, man. How can you be that racist, man?
No, I'm not being racist. I'm just saying you did, bro. Like some of this white humor, I can't relate to it. Like it's ish. Except for maybe George. Like apart from Bill Burr, I would say the late George Carlin. He was really funny. But anyways,
what about Rowan Atkinson? Huh? Why are you forgetting Rowan Atkinson?
I'm like he's more like a body comedian. I'm talking about someone who cracks jokes, not like someone who makes them.
He does crack jokes.
Well,
he does crack jokes. He does have live shows.
Yes, okay. I'll check out his stand-up comedy. Like
just in case a nigga brain cannot comprehend some of these jokes.
No, it's dude. You both know that we understand pretty. English is British based, dude. It's just not like American based, so we can understand British humor. Anyways, moving forward, like F is for Family is a really good show. I think the characters, like what I've noticed, like most of these animated adult comedies, is that the characters, like for the most part, they're caricatures. They're not like real people. They don't behave like real people. Like sometimes they will have aspects of real people, like in Rick and Morty. Like there are the points where there's a bit of heart, and apart from the cynical and nihilistic stuff that happens in Rick and Morty, you do have aspects where people behave like real people. Their emotions, they feel etc. You can kind of relate. But with F is for Family, they are like real people. Like, so you go through the shenanigans, but you can kind of understand what's going on. Like Frank, like he has his temper, he has his issues that stem from the relationship he had with his father. He's trying to survive, be a good father, and deal with a lot of things. I won't delve too much into it, but I think it's one of the best shows that I encountered recently, and I would recommend people to watch it. It's worth your time. So it's on Netflix. It has 4 seasons, and season 4 came out this year, and season 4 is really good. It ended on a really, I wouldn't say sad, but kind of like dour cliffhanger. But yeah, I think that was like one of the highlights of things I've been experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
Then also, yeah, the coronavirus has devastated the film industry. A lot of movies that thought they were going to be coming out are not going to come out. Tenet, like Christopher Nolan's Tenet is not going to come out. Like most likely, it's going to come out next year. I know the dude was pushing for it to come out in August, but as far as I'm concerned, with its 225 million budget and with the coronavirus, literally deterring people from sitting in the cinema, I don't think that movie will make its money back if it decides to release right now. It will flop. It will definitely flop. Going to like go to movie houses to incubate and go back to their homes and infect their families and die. I love movies, but no movies worth spreading the virus and dying. So yeah, next year, like 2020 is cancelled. Nothing, no movies are being released in the theater. Like I don't even think Black Widow is not going to come out this year. Dune is not going to come out this year. I do not think it's going to happen. I doubt. I seriously doubt it. So I think for the most part, streaming is going to be dominating, and yeah, TV series are going to be in demand and animation. But for the most part, I'll just say movies are fucked.
Oh yeah, movies are the thing. They're also forgetting porn. Porn is going down the rise.
Oh yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's mostly OnlyFans and people. Yeah, because
I doubt, because people don't have the money to be throwing at OnlyFans, like, they just watch the free shit over and over again.
I mean, dude, you'd be surprised because like with the OnlyFans, okay, I know it's gonna get crazy, but with the simp society rising, like in the world, the simp society thrives from the OnlyFans community or like the business model. So basically, with OnlyFans, like the dude goes like, "Hey, I'll pay you $10 or $20. Can you squeeze your tits?" "Yes, I'll do it." And she's like, "Oh, you listen to me? Okay. Okay. If I pay $100, will you touch your butt?" Yeah. Okay. Oh, she did. It's like, oh my god, man, have some self-respect.
Dude, why are you this guy?
No, I'm just saying, man, that the simp society exists. So if you think people like I said, like there will always be something that's free, but people will choose to pay. That's just the world we live in. Anyways,
no, this podcast is I'm not going to cut it from here. This is the head. It's sounding like it should be depressing right now. Thank you everyone for listening in, and to cut out most of this bullshit that happened towards the end, because that's coming too ridiculous.
Oh wait, you want us to cover the stuff up with the cam go?
Yeah, we'll talk about it after. Just cut the feed.
All right, cool. Oh, okay, all right. Okay, cool. So I guess we can call it a night, right? All right, cool. So you did the intro. I guess I'll do the outro. So, thank you everybody for listening to the Banda Ngundu podcast. Yeah. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the previous recordings that we did. I remember a lot of people were excited, or at least giving a lot of positive feedback concerning the interview that we did of T.S. Zombie, and how he went from being a chef to almost being Bill Masuku's intern to doing, being a panelist with Bill. So yeah, that was pretty fun. But anyways, thank you all for listening to the podcast, and yeah, hope guys are keeping well. No one is doing anything crazy, and you are surviving the coronavirus. So, yeah, that's it for me, and that's it for Nyasha.